it's the most wonderful feeling in the world to have him back.
A father reunited with his son after an historic international abduction by his ex-husband. How it came to an end next. The infamous Rockefeller abduction, what a gay man did or did not, as it turns out, have to do with it. This plastic credit card hailed as a new way to charge against HIV. Ellen's wedding turns out to be no joke, this seriously beautiful affair. And forget about the brides, what you're wearing could soon have less to do with Fifth Avenue and more to do with Wall Street. 365 Gay News, powered by CBS News, starts now.
I cannot and will not rest until he is home.
A father devastated after his ex-husband flees the country with their child. And now a dramatic ending to this historic case in, of all places, the Middle East. Hello everyone, I'm Palombo from CBS News in New York. We begin with an international incident. Two fathers separate. One child is caught in the middle and abducted into a foreign country. Several agencies step in, from New York police to the State Department, and now a dramatic ending thousands of miles away.
He just smiled. Daddy, 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 and kissing me.
A rushed, love-filled reunion for an American father and son taking place halfway around the world in a car on the streets of Jerusalem.
Did everything we can to just get him back as quickly as possible.
It was a scene that seemed almost impossible just days ago on New York's East Side when Josh Glazer realized 23-month-old Jedediah was missing.
It feels like someone took a knife and stuck it through my stomach and is turning it every day.
He and his partner of 4 years, Eric Hyatt, split last September. Glazer got custody of their adopted son. But on a routine visit August 5th, ex-husband Hyatt disappeared with the child.
I cannot and will not rest until he is home.
Investigators say Hyatt took the child directly from New York to a relative's home in the village of Lapid near the West Bank. Then they say he moved his son to a rented apartment in Jerusalem.
I believe that his movements were done to conceal his whereabouts.
Private international investigators say they managed to locate Jedediah, though, within 20 hours and kept him and the father under constant surveillance as they pleaded with Israeli authorities to intervene.
The child was observed, and we made sure that he didn't abscond with the child to another location.
Family members agonized.
It's like losing a piece of yourself.
But days later, the child's grandmother managed to move in with the Israelis to take Jedediah back.
I was really happy to see Grandma.
And then the long-awaited reunion with his father in a car several blocks away.
It was like a little dirty and had to be bathed and things like that, but you know what, none of that mattered. I'm just so happy to see that he was okay and well.
Hyatt himself has told the Daily News, "I left because Jed was the one who was suffering," and added that Glazer was a terrible co-parent who inflicted emotional neglect abuse on their son. But tonight, authorities believe their son is now in the safest hands.
It's the most wonderful feeling in the world to have him back. I just feel awful for what he went through.
Glazer's attorney says authorities have already started the extradition process to bring the other father, Hyatt, back home. New details in the infamous Rockefeller child abduction case. The driver of the SUV that whisked Clark Rockefeller and his 7-year-old daughter away says he was told to drive because they were fleeing a gay man. Driver Daryl Hopkins says when he was told to drive Rockefeller and the child away, a man was still clinging to the side of his car. Rockefeller, he says, told him the man was a gay friend he was trying to lose. The man was actually a social worker who was supervising the visit. He wasn't hurt. The family of murdered California teen Larry King firing back and now filing a claim against their son's school district. All of it happening in Oxnard, California, near Los Angeles. They're now seeking damages from the school for its failure to protect their son. Last February, a 14-year-old fellow classmate shot and killed King as he sat in English class. The King family isn't commenting, but the suit claims the school failed to enforce its own dress code. The family believes that put their 15-year-old at risk because he usually wore makeup, jewelry, and high-heeled boots with his uniform, drawing attention to himself. The school has now referred the claim to its insurance company. A spokesperson there says he expects it to be rejected. Well, he had claimed that gay sex abuse had something to do with killing an officer, but just before his execution, one of the infamous Texas 7, Michael Rodriguez, admitted that he made it all up. Rodriguez was convicted for his role in the murder of a suburban Dallas officer back in 2000. He and 6 others were involved after escaping a South Texas prison. At his trial, defense lawyers said he should be spared because of sexual abuse he allegedly suffered at a San Antonio Catholic high school. Now, 8 years later, just before his execution, Rodriguez admitted he made it all up and that no Catholic priest had ever done anything to him. Possibly a new weapon in the war on HIV. It's plastic. Is it possible to slow down the spread of HIV with, of all things, a cutting-edge credit card? Well, the card and the controversy are centered around a New York company. Itai Had near there with the very latest. Itai.
Hey Ross, just when you thought you heard it all, along comes a safe sex license. Think credit card, but with your latest HIV test results on it. Now, you can get one of these cards online, or you can get them at one of these mobile units right behind me. But you should know before signing that dotted line that some say the interest on this card could be more than you're willing to pay.
Jason Lewis has been a card member since 2006.
When I go shopping, I don't take money with me anymore. I take a credit card, so why not take my test results in the same way?
A computer programmer, Lewis is a pioneer in plastic. While Americans have long embraced their credit cards, he uses a different kind of card to get around. It's called a safe sex license.
Here's how it works. You register, get tested. The results then go to a company which mails you a card with your picture and personal ID number on it. Whoever you give this card to calls a 1-800 number right here on the back and gets the results to your HIV test.
More than 15,000 people have signed up.
The Safe Sex License is the world's first and only smart card strictly and exclusively dedicated to HIV awareness.
The information may be worth sharing, but
how does this come up in conversation? Pass me the salt. Oh, by the way, here's the card to show you that I'm HIV negative.
I mean, it's like anything. You got to have your own way of sort of bringing this conversation. Me, I like to say, I bet you I can show you my results in under 15 seconds.
ST Free, the company that came up with the idea, says it's a good way to get people talking about HIV. But many in the medical community see danger.
But what this does is give somebody a card and saying, I'm disease-free and we could possibly have unprotected sex. And that's where I think the danger is.
Critics point out card carriers might engage in unsafe sex after the test is taken. But a growing number of people seem willing to try out this new Discover card.
Now, Ross, if you're wondering, the whole thing costs about $20. Not a bad investment for a little peace of mind.
Thanks, Itai. 2 college wrestlers thrown off the team after they posed for an internet porn site. University of Nebraska wrestlers Paul Donahoe and Kenny Jordan both showed up on FratmenTV.com in revealing poses for both photos and videos. Their coach says posing naked violates NCAA standards and rules, and that's why both students were booted off the team.
I don't necessarily think they should have been kicked off the team for their actions in their free time.
They have a bigger responsibility. It's not just them. They really are reflecting the university. And right now, if they want to do that, and that's fine if they are to graduate and go, but when you're still on the team, I just don't know what they're thinking.
Neither of the students has commented on the dismissal yet. The website's owner says most of his models are not in fact gay and that the 2 wrestlers appeared alone in their shoots.
Marriage is the union between a man and a woman.
Coming up, Barack Obama speaking out about same-sex marriage. What his newly appointed gay task force chair, Tammy Baldwin, has to say about that. Ellen's wedding, not much of a surprise, but you'll want to see the photos anyway. And who has a say about what you're wearing? Could it be Wall Street? Find out next on 365 Gay News, powered by CBS News in New York.